This is episode 98 of Organizations Win Championships, an Odyssey 2400 sports podcast about your rampaging Chicago Bulls, along with our producer, Spencer Ray. I'm Dan Bernstein, and this is my podcast partner, Colonel Augustus Fartwagon.
Did you have that planned out before we started?
Maybe. Why? Why are you putting a hat on?
It's because my hair is uncooperative. It's so humid because of all the rain we've gotten. And also my camera looks slanted. I look like an idiot today. But here we are. Let's just do it. I don't care at this point.
It makes you feel better. You look like an idiot every day, so it really isn't that big a
deal.
Yeah,
I said that to you about 20 seconds ago, I think. But screw it. Yeah.
By the way, fun time with it to be had by all last weekend on Parents' Weekend down there.
Yeah, you really made a show. You really had a great time. You
had me doing Jaeger bombs.
What?
I said you had me doing Jaeger bombs.
You said you would do it, and it wasn't a Jaeger bomb; it was a boot bomb. And also, it's not the only thing that you were doing that night.
It was good. I actually thought it was good. It was a Beta root beer.
It was good. What I'm saying is there were other things that you were doing.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. The Bulls right now
really made a great impact on the people you were around.
I know I did. The Bulls are 4-7. The Bulls are 10th in the East. Now that sounds great. 4-7
last year.
Better than I thought, but they're 10th in the East. They continue to lead the entire NBA in pace of play at 104.3. The Bulls currently have an offensive rating of 109.9. That is 22nd of 30. Defensive rating is 115.2. That's 20th of 30 for a net rating.
It's the same as last year.
I know, it's the same. The net rating is minus 5.3. That is 24th of 30. So that's where they stand. And I think as of right now, they're still not bad enough.
I know Cooper Flagg had a couple of turnovers late yesterday, but after watching that dude play, it makes me realize that I want the Bulls to suck. That entire Duke team is loaded with talent. I know Kentucky won, but that's because Kentucky, after firing Calipari, is more of a college basketball team rather than prospect-oriented program. And I think that's why they won, because they were a little bit more experienced. But Duke has a bunch of dudes. That dude Maluach is a monster as well. Con Knipple or whatever his name is. He can play. He's a starter. He can really play. And Tulane transfers. Sion James played pretty well. He got hurt late though, but their sixth man is a Tulane transfer. One of Tulane's better players from last year. So
I'm telling you, the Cooper Flagg may be the highlight of this draft, but there are going to be a lot of good players in it. So the Bulls are going to have to find a way. They've got to find a way because they
top 10 at least.
Well, yeah, they've got to get worse. And whether it means taking less in trade for some of these guys, they don't have to make these decisions yet. But every time I look at a matchup, I think, okay, this is a loss. And then I look at who's not playing for the other team, and you never know what you're going to run into on a given night.
Who's hurt for New York right now?
I think, is Brunson available? Because I thought he left the last game with an ankle injury, right?
Jalen Brunson. Dodges a bullet after he suffers injury scare. May lose Jalen Brunson for upcoming games. Jalen Brunson's injury status. Jalen Brunson. Let's see.
That Mitchell Robinson's out. Precious Achua's out. Precious. So, and Brunson was nursing an ankle. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, it just seems every game like, okay, well, this one they should be all right. And they probably will be. But
be all right meaning lose.
Right. I mean, but the thing is, like that Cleveland game,
that was
fun. It was fun. And there were all kinds of crazy shots being made. Donovan Mitchell was just putting on a show.
And I don't know what's got him, but if they keep, I don't think they're going to keep this pace up. But I feel like this is one of the first times where Donovan Mitchell has had a really offensive-oriented coach, because he's had Quinn Snyder in Utah for a little bit, I believe. He had JB Bickerstaff earlier in Cleveland. Kenny Atkinson is not one of those guys. Kenny Atkinson is an offense first, get the ball in the basket type guy. And we've known that Donovan Mitchell is a solid defender, but we've also known that he's a superior athlete and just all around great player. And he's doing some stuff. He's in the MVP race right now.
The way Atkinson stuck with his second unit when they were rolling too just showed a kind of patience where I didn't know how long they were going to keep those guys out there, and he trusted them. And this time of year, that goes a long way. It goes a long way to be able to trust that second unit to buy your stars some time and to do it on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very, very impressive basketball team.
Yes,
the ball never stops. It absolutely pops around, and they get it out of the basket and they go. I also noticed too in that game a couple things, just some basic observations from that game. One is they're having to take Josh Giddey out in anything close and late, because whoever he's guarding, they just isolate him and attack him. He can't keep his guy in front of him. So it's fine if you want to sub Io, but you can't do it until he fixes his shot. Because I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why Io's shooting 22%, where the guy was over 40 last year. And maybe it's just variance, and maybe it'll regress to the mean. But and you got to trust that it will, because I don't want him to stop shooting.
Yeah, Patrick played pretty well this game, but we know we're going to talk a lot about Donovan Mitchell, but I said this after watching that preseason game. Evan Mobley's a problem. He had 15-11, but it was an efficient 15, and just the way he moves is scary, because he's always been lengthy and rangy, but he's added some muscle now.
Yep.
And now really looks like Chris Bosh. And people forget how good Chris Bosh was. He's a Hall of Famer. And just because he played third fiddle to, is that a term, third fiddle? I mean, I know second fiddle is, but
probably not.
But he was the third option on that team with LeBron and D Wade. That even makes it crazier that LeBron is still doing what he's doing when you think about that. But the way that Bosh has been, the way that Bosh was able to get the ball in the basket and also be a rim protector is Mobley reminds me of him a lot. And I think that was his draft comp ceiling, I would say, and he's living up to it for sure. Yeah, they're good.
I would say solving the Giddey defensive issue, they knew that was going to be a problem, but solving an end game or situational defensive issue is complicated by the fact that when you are going to be taking timeouts and when you are going to be running your baseline out of bounds and sideline out of bounds stuff in end game situations, you want Giddey to be your inbounder because he's great at it. So I don't know how often you're going to be able to do offensive, defensive substitutions to try to manage that and try to keep subbing out offense, defense.
As Dan Bernstein would say, you need your slob wizard late in the fourth.
You do. I didn't coin slob wizard.
I'm making sure that everyone knows you for using that term.
Yeah, I didn't coin it. I've seen
it because I know our podcast is very niche and it's very basketball forward, but I still don't know if a lot of hardcore basketball fans are going to hear slob wizard and think of sideline out of bounds wizard and not something else. So I am making you stand on that.
Okay, no, I just don't want to make it like I coined it because it's so clever. I don't want to take credit for it, which is funny that
it's not clever. It's just kind of suggestive.
Well, when I was coming up in basketball, it wasn't slobs and blobs. It was sobs and bobs on the board. It was sideline out of bounds, which is your SOBs and BOBs. But now they added the L for line, which I think is redundant. I don't think I think baseline is one word and sideline is one word. So it was always your bob plays and your sob plays. Somewhere that changed.
Okay. Maybe
So
just on that purpose.
maybe. I don't know. I just think every coach comes up a little differently in that regard. One other observation. This pace of play makes
Mhm.
Dalen Terry more valuable.
Of course, because he plays at that pace. We would always say he's out of control. He doesn't know what he's doing. But the Bulls right now are entirely out of control because
So
they're
he fits
bad
right in.
and they're fast. So it fits Dalen Terry. I also think that the fact that the rest of the Bulls are playing at this pace makes Dalen Terry look more in control. He doesn't have to change who he is. We always talked about his pace,
Mhm.
but now this is the pace that they're playing, and that's okay. I'm even surprised that Sanogo got a little bit of run. I mean, I know he didn't play for very long,
Well, they had no choice
but
because Jalen Smith, I don't know what's going on with him. He's always like hurt or sick or something. And there have been some rumors that he isn't in the best shape. So they need somebody to at least approximate a replacement level big.
I'm saying sign that dude from Dallas that's on their G League team. Love him. 7'5" Jamarion Sharp. Sign him. He can block shots and he moves pretty well for someone who's 7'5". I don't care how good he is at basketball. If he can just be there, it would be nice. However, shout out Damasanogo. Love the guy
Yeah,
because he's
why are you trying to get rid of your dude?
not trying to get rid of him. I just think the Bulls need rim protection. And
Well, they've
Sanogo is
needed
not
it
the
for
best
years.
athlete. But I
They
love
need-
Adama Sanogo. He's awesome. Really
yeah,
nice guy.
he's a great guy. He's got a great smile. Everybody seems to love him.
Yes, he does have a great smile.
he just
He
can't jump.
does. He's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I will say though that one thing that, like you say, they're all fast and they're all out of control. They're all sort of like running around on the highway. Is they have some of their turnovers are just spectacular. When they really want to kick it right to somebody, they do. And the stuff that gets knocked away, and this when Cleveland kept stripping them late, man, they know that this is going to happen. It is way more fun than what it was. And I just wish that with some of these teams, it's as entertaining as it is. I wouldn't mind being a little more certain that they're going to lose about midway through the fourth rather than taking it down to the wire.
Yeah, you would need it. You need your Xanax when you're doing that. When you're watching this Bulls team. Although I feel like all of Chicago sports makes everyone need it. Yikes.
Well, we did have our first watching Bears in a bar experience. That was fun.
Yeah, because you ate 15 wings, flew home, and got Popeyes.
Yes, I did.
It was fun, except for that one Commanders fan that wouldn't stop shouting in our ear anytime they had any sort of pass rush.
Yeah, and she was kind of an idiot. Like she didn't really know when to cheer. It
I
was
feel like
weird because you had the
football
Saints fans in there, the Falcons fans,
The
and I think
Saints fans and the Falcons fans knew what was going on, but I had no idea what that woman was cheering for. I mean, she was probably having a wonderful time, but I don't know. That food was pretty good, though. I enjoyed it. That was fun.
yeah, you can watch other Bears games there. So why
Also,
don't you get
the
it?
way the bartender would open those bottles was
Pro.
the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Pro. Yeah.
I've seen some pretty good bartenders before. Not to say I'm an alcoholic, but I've been around at my ripe age of not under 21. And what I noticed is that dude could open 6 bottles in I kid you not, literally 2 seconds. I have
Well,
never seen anything like it.
remember, that's the French Quarter. So when you're talking, some of these bars are like 24/7. And they only had one bartender for the entire place and one person working the kitchen. That was it.
And they got food out quick too.
And but think their usual clientele, if I mean that was just for a football Sunday. You can
Yeah.
imagine what it is when it's overflowing with people and you've got some sort of festival going on down there that's a lot bigger than just a regular average day out there. So yeah, they got to be those. There's a lot of pressure to imagine the sports bar in the quarter.
That dude was sick. I just think he's cool.
Yeah, he is.
Shout out what was that place called? Gemini. Shout out the bartender at Gemini because that dude.
I think it's pronounced Gemini.
Gemini, like the
I don't know the history. I don't know why, but I believe it's pronounced Gemini. But
not spelled the same. But
want to watch sports in the quarter.
That dude, as Jules from Pulp Fiction would say, was a bad mother effer right there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad dude. That guy was cool. He had that old newspaper boy cap on. He was just a cool dude, and he can open a beer bottle like nobody's business. I don't know why I felt like going on a rant about that.
Right.
Better last week though, or at least a little bit more optimistic.
Serious.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you see who just got nominated for Attorney General?
I saw Matt Gaetz was nominated for something.
Attorney General. A guy under investigation for having sex with underage women at a drug-fueled party is going to be in charge of the Justice Department. Just think of the whole thing as if it's a Marx Brothers movie. That's what we have the privilege. I'm just going to say yes, as privileged white male cis straight male men. That's redundant, but we have I'm looking at this through the lens of the entire thing as a Marx Brothers movie because it's the only way any of it's going to make sense. Oh, I got to bed late last night. You know why?
Okay, why?
Steph Curry.
Oh yeah,
and Draymond, like
he was shooting
and guarding. He looked amazing.
Okay,
that team guards.
Yeah. That block he had on Gafford was rude. That was rude.
But I love their defense. I love it.
And I know he didn't score the most last night, but my God, Buddy Hield on that team. Remember when DiVincenzo went there and had a resurgence? We all thought that was pretty crazy, but the thing is that DiVincenzo has been great ever since then. Buddy Hield is like that. He's like that. And I'm happy for Clay. He played very well. He had 22 points, but God, that was such a good game.
It was a great game. It was a great call of the game. Reggie Miller was fantastic. Reggie Miller was outstanding and talking about what, get a free throw shooter in there or, I don't know why they're not taking a timeout. It was really interesting stuff. And man, Steph is just ridiculous.
I think we also have to mention Luka Doncic wasn't at 100% and he was still doing Luka stuff. They said he had a groin thing going on.
He looks slow. And when he looks slow, it makes me think he's more fat.
But he was really damn good. What do you have? How many points did he have? Did he have like 31 or 37, something like that?
Yeah, he had some bad ones though. He had some that weren't hitting much anything because he wasn't getting his usual kind of push back on his little step back. I didn't know how badly he was hurt, but when he's not right, it makes him look out of shape, even though that is his shape.
Have you ever seen the Zach Randolph mean tweet thing?
No.
It was Zach Randolph isn't in basketball shape. Rather, he is a basketball shape. So I think you're saying that about Luka. And I mean,
that's funny.
To Charles Barkley. I mean, not when he was in the league, but now he's the size of 6 basketballs and a stack of pancakes from Denny's. But I mean, that may have been one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, and he read it on SNL, so it was really damn good. Mean tweets. SNL is.
I don't think it's SNL. I think it's like Kimmel or
that might be Kimmel. Yeah,
I think it's Kimmel.
That's my bad. I don't know. They're all similar.
Did you see the movie Raising Arizona?
No.
It's a Coen Brothers sort of goofy comedy. Not the highest on my Coen Brothers list, but there's a point where they're stopping at some roadside convenience store and they're buying balloons. And he goes, "Do these balloons blow up into funny shapes?" And the old clerk goes, "Well, no, not unless round is funny." which when you think about it, maybe to someone round is funny because you didn't define what shape is funny.
I feel
Right?
like we need to call Jay Zawaski right now and just
Why?
get him on for the next 5 minutes because all we've been talking about is fat basketball players and things that are round. So
Well,
I
they've
feel
done
like
it.
we need Jay Zawaski on here. And we also talked about the 15 chicken wings you ordered. So this would be perfect.
Well, I ordered 18. I ate 15.
Fat
Right? We had
ass.
3
Okay.
orders, I think. I think that's right. And then I did, yes, and I had
Yeah, and
fried chicken for dinner.
I had a few of them. I ate a lot of fries. A
Yes.
lot, because their remoulade sauce was damn good too. So made up in the 2 Pacificos I had, made up for the really, really, really abysmal, depressing, awful, hilarious Bears game. Wow.
Yeah,
Who
I
would
don't
have
wanna talk
told
about it.
if you had told me a month and a half ago that the Bulls would be more fun than the Bears?
I tweeted it the other night. I said, "Bad Bulls are 100 times more fun than bad Bears,"
But
because
why?
bad Bulls
It makes me angry.
no, because
I'm happy the Bulls are fun,
bad
don't get
Bulls
me wrong.
you can bad Bulls make you smile. It's just a bad
Right.
Bulls game. Bad Bears make you wanna jump out of a building.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a problem with fun Bulls, and I actually prefer it. I'm having a great time watching the Bulls this year, especially because of how boring they were last year,
Mhm.
and it just sucks watching the Bears. It really sucks.
Yes. Yes, it
It's like
sucks.
Green Bay on Sunday. Thank God I have a club baseball game where I'm probably gonna be playing hungover out of my mind if I
Not a
even play, but
when are you pitching?
I don't know yet. Probably Saturday, but we'll see.
Well, don't if you're throwing Sunday, don't be hungover.
No, remember that one hockey game after the first time I ever partied and I played great?
I forgot. Was that when we were out of town and you were throwing up all over the place? Wh who did you play
I
that
make a
game?
really good impression on people.
Yeah, you must. So with that, why don't we hit the showdown?
Okay. I just saw a headline pop up saying Bulls have lost 5 of their last 6. Who cares?
No, it's
Right?
good.
Yeah.
That's what do. Let's first congratulate the winner of last week's crowd question. And last week's crowd trivia was saying the Utah Jazz were one of 6 NBA teams that has never been able to exercise their own first overall draft pick. So I asked who was the highest ever drafted player by the Utah Jazz. And an account on Twitter at the one called CJ, so I presume it's CJ, got it right. Said Daryl Griffith, and Daryl Dr. Duncanstein Griffith out of Louisville was indeed drafted second overall in 1980 after Joe Barry Carroll was taken by the aforementioned Golden State Warriors. So congratulations to CJ for getting that one correct.
All right. Am I starting?
Sure.
Okay. So I have the crowd question this week, but that'll be later. And for your question,
Yes.
there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 the white NBA players that have scored 20,000 career points, and it does include international guys. Just fair spin. There are 51 players that have ever scored 20,000 points in NBA history, and only 7 are white. Does not include guys like Steph Curry because he's mixed. Just pure white.
7 are at 20K.
Yeah,
7.
7. That's it. Out of
Bird.
51. Bird.
Dirk.
Dirk is first by a mile.
Yeah. Well, but I'm just, I'm of a different era. Uh McHale?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
He didn't?
Nope.
Barry.
Nope.
Rick Barry?
Rick Bear? No. He played in an era where they scored 2 points a game.
No, he didn't, though. He scored all the points.
Well, also, they might not have been recording points in the first, like, who knows?
He didn't play with Mikan. He played in the 70s.
Rick Barry career points.
Oh, maybe some was ABA.
Oh, not NBA.
Maybe some was ABA. All right.
NBA. NBA.
All right. God. I'll get this. I should get some of this stuff.
You really
should. What about Bob Pettit?
Bob Pettit, first player in NBA history to reach 20,000 points, actually.
All right. Well, I got it then. Bird Dirk Pettit. I'm trying to think of any more from my era. Some of the greats. Wasn't Doug Collins. Oh boy. And now there's a bunch of like point guards and shooter guys. Did Stockton get there?
No, I think he was maybe 200 points short. He was right there.
Yeah, okay. But right there, but not.
This is a bad performance.
What is?
Yours.
Why?
This is just a bad performance.
Why?
You're just not getting a lot. You're overthinking it. You're not getting a lot of names, or at least two.
I'm trying to think about guys who played for a long time. What about Dan Issel?
This is what I'm saying. You're really screwing up.
Why? Dan Issel's a good guess. I know a lot of it was ABA.
No, not a good guess.
Kiki Vandeweghe or Kelly Tripucka or I'm just trying to think of white scorer guys.
Bad.
Not Tom Chambers. He didn't score enough.
Tom
Chambers?
Tom Chambers.
He was?
20,000 points. Yes.
That is shocking. What about Jack Sikma?
No. Oh my God. Tom Chambers was the hardest by a mile. You suck.
Why do I suck? Why do you what's it's probably a big Dave Cowens? Not Dave DeBuscher. It's got to be
one guard, one forward, one big.
One bourbon, one scotch, one beer. Okay, one forward, one big. All Hall of Famers?
Presume two of them for sure. I don't know if I'm pretty sure this guy's inducted because he retired relatively recently, but he will be. I think he was inducted actually.
Oh, it's probably I don't know.
Yes, he is in the Hall of Fame. All three. All three are because first. I mean,
all right, Walton was too hurt. So it's not Walton, even though he died recently. He wasn't Walton, right?
No.
I'm trying to think of
more notable. At least one of them. Easily.
Than Bill Walton?
Yeah. Especially recently. Because of something in the media, I'll say. Something in the entertainment world.
In the entertainment world?
In the entertainment world in the past few years.
It's too strange a clue.
No, it's not.
Like Jokic isn't there yet. Luke is not there yet. How close is Jokic?
Not close. 14,000. Vucevic has more career points.
Okay.
Got 3 left.
I don't know.
Jerry West, you dumbass.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
God. Oh my God. And this other one you've gotten, John frickin' Havlicek. What the hell are you thinking? What is wrong? And also, this guy should be up there in your list. Pau Gasol was pretty damn good at basketball too.
Okay.
That's awful. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, not getting Jerry West?
Yeah, he's pretty famous.
Yeah. Entertainment world in the past few years. He's gotten pretty famous because of that. He's gotten a lot of recognition. He's not half bad.
Okay, here's your question.
You dumbass. Oh my goodness.
We found out today that
The devil's lettuce you smoked this weekend must have taken a real big effect. My
the
lord.
the we found out today that the illness that that Greg Popovich suffered was indeed a mild stroke, and the term mild, I think a stroke is a stroke, and I really wish him well.
Yeah.
Greg Popovich is the all-time leader in career coaching wins with
Okay.
1,388.
Okay.
Give me the rest of the top 5.
Is Phil Jackson up there?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Phil Jackson is 7th.
Just trying to think of guys. I know that for whatever reason, Nate McMillan was like 9th on
Nope.
this. I feel like he's top 10.
Nope,
But
he's not.
I don't know why I thought I saw that. I feel like I've seen this list recently. So I need to get 4
Mhm.
all
There's one that's only 3 wins. This is at the start of this season. 3 wins fewer than Pop. And many of these guys coached multiple teams. They all did. All of these remaining names coach more than one team.
Oh, so not Red Auto. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, they just didn't I feel like they didn't play as many games, especially in the playoff.
Well, playoffs don't count.
Yeah. More than one team.
Number
Pat
2. What'd you say?
Pat Riley?
He's 5th.
Okay.
5th. Lakers,
one.
Knicks, and Heat. Pat Riley is 5th with 1,210 wins. You need 2, 3, and 4. Number
Are they
2.
really recent? Recent meaning
Um,
before the 60s and 70s-ish?
yeah, they're both they're all more recent than that. I mean, they're names that you should know, and all 3 of them were players
Okay.
who became coaches.
Okay. All 3 were players who became coaches. That does help.
Okay, number 2 coached the following teams.
Okay.
In order, he coached the Bucks, the Warriors, the Knicks, and the Mavericks.
Bucks, Warriors, Knicks.
Mavericks.
Yeah.
And
Carlisle?
No.
I don't know why he's up there, though.
No, he's not.
I think he's getting there.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
And number 3 coached the Thunder, the Blazers, the Cavs, the Hawks, the Raptors, and the Knicks.
So are these a lot of guys that just coach for a long time and
Lifers.
No,
Lifers.
but not
But
necessarily the best?
Number 3 is a Hall of Fame point guard who was he was the coach of an NBA champion and he was the 1994 coach of the year.
So is it the coach of the Rockets?
No, he was the coach of the Hawks when he won coach of the year, and the title he won was with the 79 Seattle Supersonics.
No.
All right, number 2 of the Bucks, Warriors, Knicks, and Mavs is Don Nelson.
Okay.
3-time coach of the year. Number 3 is Lenny Wilkens.
All right.
And number 4 you should get. He coached the Bulls and the Jazz.
Bulls and the Jazz. Was this after Phil Jackson? Before?
No, he did not before. Yeah, and he played for the Bulls.
Oh, Jerry Sloan.
Yes, correct. Jerry Sloan. That is your top 5. It is Pop, Nelly, Lenny Wilkens, Sloan, and Riley. There you go.
All right.
All right, crowd question.
I should have gotten Jerry Sloan sooner. I don't feel bad at all about not getting 2 and 3
Okay.
at all. Because I don't think of those guys as coaches.
I understand that. I understand. That's why we do these. These can be a history lesson sometimes. All right, crowd question.
Mr. Jerry West.
All right, whatever.
So, NBA 2K has been around since 1999 because they made NBA 2K, and at that time it was affiliated with ESPN, but that's beside the point. There have been 4 players ever that have been in a Bulls uniform, not that were on the cover of NBA 2K in America, because there are different country editions. Like Pau Gasol is on the Spanish edition for a couple of them, not counting. But we are counting, the Legend edition or the more expensive ones. So there are 4 Bulls players that were on the cover of NBA 2K in America. They do not have to be in a Bulls jersey while they are pictured. Just 4 guys that are on the
four players who have been on the 2K cover in America who have played for the Bulls at some point.
Correct. There are 4 of them. 3 of them the 2 of them are pretty damn easy. One of them you would have to think a little bit, but you should get. One of them is really hard.
Really?
Yes, because I'll just say this. It's an older one, and it's just pretty interesting. But yeah, there are 4 guys.
Okay, that's a good one. So send your answers to Twitter and make sure you hashtag OWC Showdown. Send your answers to @Dan_Bernstein or on Instagram @Jason.Bernstein_. And then you can join that proud list of people who have won the Crowd Showdown. We are so episode 98. We got a couple more before the big hundo. Looking forward to that, and we'll see
if
we have the Bulls
or before the big hundo.
I know we have one more before the big hundo. I know
a couple more.
But you know what I mean. God, annoying little piss ant. When do you come home again?
Next Saturday or something.
Oh God. All right.
Yeah, I'd rather stay here.
I know you would. I'd rather you stay there too, but everybody else wants to see you.
All right, like, rate, subscribe, and